my gosh, well, isn't that just the sweetest damn thing I've ever seen? Aww. Thank you, VHS Canuck. I'm gonna run that one again, cause that made me well, it ain't actually run. Holy shit, it's probably cause it's too large a text. VHS Canuck with 25 months of tier 1. 2 years ago today, I joined in on Good Friday morning to watch live Savage Garden and much music videos with fellow members of the Golden VCR and Stephen George communities. Fast forward to today, a ton of chaos was had over on these streams, and I've even gained my first mod position. I'm very proud to call you my fellow Canuck and my friend. Thank you, Bella. Here's to the next 2. It's almost a full year! Thank you so much, VHS Canuck, for those kind words, and hello, everybody! Welcome! Ow! Jesus Christ! Welcome! To Sunday Fun Day, and a brand new thing here, RubyVCR. Okay, so, I am in a panic a little bit because there are things I wanted to do that I forgot to do before I went live, so, but if you haven't been to a thing like this before, it's very simple. We are gonna be watching videos, and it's gonna be great, right? That's what's gonna happen. So I have a VCR next to my computer, and I have it hooked up. This is a blue screen you can see here. I currently have the audio off because if I don't, it makes a really terrible hissing sound, and we don't like that. That, and I also have, I have a bunch of VHS tapes, and they're all train related, and they're all interestingly special to me. I'll explain why. So, one, I am a big fan of, Alex's work. Alex was the head of Golden VCR, and for about 1.5 years, he was doing, you know, just videotapes that people would send in, or ones from his collection. It was more of a hobby, but it became kind of a cool community thing. Alas, he's too busy right now to actually, do the rest, but, I was one of the contributors a lot to his stuff, and I decided that I'd like to actually maybe try this every now and then, do a couple of VCR things. I'm not looking for requests. Please, God, don't send me your tapes. I have enough, okay? Don't send me anything. But every now and then, I think it'd be cool if we actually watched train tapes, you know? Okay. I'm stalling for time here because there is something that I'm trying to do. I'm not having much success, but we'll get to it. It's okay. All requests go to east of the country to yours truly. Exactly. 3 boxes of VHS is all about cheese are on their way. Okay, Cheese Hammer, if you can actually send me 3 full boxes of nothing but cheese VHSs, I will actually take it, because that sounds fucking hilarious and also impossible. If you can fill 3 big boxes full of cheese tapes, good luck. And they have to be at least half an hour. You can't give me any of that 5-minute shit. Oh my god. Yeah, anyway, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually just trying to open up some scans I took of the tapes that we want to watch today. Cause I figured this would be kind of really cool. To see what I have in my collection. We're gonna be watching train tapes today. Yeah, re-railroading. And I will have a poll, just to see, like, which one we want to watch today first, right? So you'll get a little bit of feedback on that. Alright, there we go. I don't automate this shit because I'm not as smart as Alex is, but you'll get the idea. Okay, crop that. Save, export as PNG. We'll do train 2. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you, while I'm finishing this up, I'm gonna tell you a couple of things. One, I do have new alerts that won't just be for this stream. They will be for going forward. He went to school for video gaming, which is true. I have not. I haven't been to school for years. One, there is a bit alert for 666. Okay, new bit alert for 666. And a new bit alert for 777, and these are some golden VCR favorites. So, if you know, you know. If you don't, you can always give it a try and see what it is. I do also have some classic music videos, okay? And those will be, I think, 1,000 apiece, just like they were before with golden VCR. I don't have everything yet, but I do have a lot. I'm at 555, I'm at 666, hell yeah. But what I thought I'd do right now, oh my god, because I can't fucking pause this music on command anymore, it sucks. Okay, I am going to run a quick poll after I show you what tapes are. But first, we're gonna do the national anthem. I don't know if anyone can hear this. Can you hear it?
They both laid rail westward.
You can! Okay, I can. That's funny. Oh, monitor off is why.
Desert, and James Hill through the snow. Each man had a vision.
You're welcome!
Legends in their day. Now their dreams have come together.
Thank you so much, Alex.
The Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. From Seattle to Chicago.
It's the best
From
day
the
ever.
Cascades to Cajon. From the past they call Marias to the one they call Raton. She's got a clear block from the Gulf through Texas to LA. She's the finest line this land has seen.
The Burlington Northern and Santa Fe.
Welcome to the Hill Holiday Founders Awards celebration.
I fucking love this song!
James J. Hill and Cyrus, we're sitting here.
I was obsessed with this song when it came out.
Take a look around, and here is what they'd say. A railroad
Yeah, key change! You know it's good when there's a key change.
Right of way. But our dreams live through the people of the
Burlington Northern and Santa Fe.
From Seattle to Chicago, from the Cascades to Cajon, from the past they call.
I remember I actually started listening to it to try and get the fucking lyrics down. I love this song.
From the Gulf through Texas to LA, she's the finest line this land has seen. The Burlington Northern and Santa.
Yeah! I wish I had a lighter for my VTuber. I got popcorn though.
Seattle to Chicago, from the Cascades to Cajon, from the past they call Marias to the one they call Raton. Come on and stand
Right?
up and wave to her and help her on her way. She's the finest line this land has seen. The Burlington Northern and Santa Fe.
It's so good.
She's the finest line this land has seen.
Beautiful.
The
Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. Where's the theme for CXS? Fucking gorgeous. And in Santa Fe. Burlington Northern and Santa Fe. So, this song came off of a tape that someone found of the BNSF awards ceremony. Like an internal company awards ceremony. It was so fucking funny. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was like one of the best tapes I think we ever got. Thank you again, Wasabi Milkshake, aka Alex, aka Golden VCR, for giving us some of these treasures, and I use them with love in my heart. Cheers. All right, so, where's CSX? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just play the songs. I don't know shit. All right. So, I'm gonna show y'all, train tapes, and, these are gonna be the choices that you have, okay? Alright. Oh, Jesus, I need to fucking fix that. Holy fuck. It's too big. It's too big. Transform, fit to screen. Thank you kindly. Alright. Okay, so, this is our first one. It is Burlington Northern before Santa Fe, I think. Okay? Yeah. Trains. All right. Damn, Drago is fucking on this shit, man. He's way cooler than me. Hey, KB! Welcome in, honey bun.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
A succulent Chinese meal? Really? Okay, fine, absolutely. We can absolutely play Stand Back. You fucking got it. Let me do this first and then we'll play it. Because I do actually have it. Alright. So, first one. These are two from Trains Magazine. This one is Chicago Racetrack. Okay. The second one we have is BNSF again, Colorado's Joint Line, and yes! It is actually sealed, okay? We will be unwrapping it when we watch it. Hey! Oh, I didn't. Canuck, thank you so much for giving a tier 1 sub to Kirby Volt. Really appreciate it. Okay, so this is number 2, okay? Trains on location, Colorado's Joint Line. The third one we have is New Georgia Steam Excursions, okay? And this one is, you know, just unrelated, just a thing. Now, a fun story about this, I won these when I was a kid at a model train expo. Most of the BNSF, is why most of them are gray and black. Oh, okay, so I didn't bother repainting them. There you go. All right, so we're going to run the poll for 3 minutes. So you can pick which one of those you want to watch first. And in the meantime, someone get Swift. Aw, yeah! We are so back. Stand back! Stand back! Amazing.
What are those dogs doing standing
At my feet.
They're under something, picking up this heat. This heat.
Give me steam, and how you feel can make it real. Real as anything you've seen. Getting alive with the dreamer's dream. I did this for karaoke a while ago.
You know your culture from your trash.
You know your plastic from your cash.
When on the side of the track,
You know the way back, but I know you.
you know you're stripping
From your pain. Thanks, honey. You know you're sinner from your saints. Whenever heaven's doors are shut, you kick them open, but I know you. Give me steam, and how you feel can make it real. Real as any place you tilting bathroom so much.
Can't you see I lost control?
I'm getting indiscreet. You're moving in so close till I'm picking up this heat. This heat.
Give me steam.
And how you feel can make it real.
Real as anything you've seen.
Get alive with the dreamer's dream. Chicago racetrack it
Know
is.
you're green from your red.
You know the quick from the dead. So much better than the rest.
You think you've been blessed.
I know you.
You know
Your letter from your snake. You know the throttle from the brake. You know your straight line from a curve. You got a lot of nerve, but I know you. Gary's mod, and how you feel can make it real. Real as any place you've been. Get alive with the dreamer's dream. Here we go.
everybody knows that. Hold your breath, count to 5. Back, snap, booby trap. Cover it up in bubble wrap. Room shake, earthquake. Find a way to stay awake. It's gonna blow, it's gonna break.
This is more than I can take.
Oh yeah, I need steam. Feel the steam around me.
God, it's so
Help me out. Ready to steam and all down.
God damn this fucking movie. It's so good. Baby for a tree! I can't believe all of this came from the animation tapes. You know? Amazing. There we go. That was Steam by Peter Gabriel. Thank you for the 1,000 bits, Cheesehammer. Really appreciate that. And also, Cheesehammer gifted a tier 1 month sub to Golden VCR and to Swift for Sweeper, who successfully avoided the crotch. What the fuck did I just watch? Kirby, ask your girlfriend. I'm not even joking. She can explain everything. I don't have time. All right, guys. So, I would have loved to have like a video on the actual VCR to show you my stuff. Oh my God, Trill, was it? Oh, how many regrets. How many regrets. That's fucking great. I'm glad I could take that. Hell yeah, everyone's got a first time. Another 1,000 bits and I'll play Sledgehammer. Anyway, I've got the tape in. You can hear that beautiful loading. This is actually my childhood VHS, so I'm pretty happy about that. All right. This should be good. Oh, nobody tell the
Now,
kids.
from the
Fuck them.
publishers of Trains magazine comes ready references for active railroading fans. The ideal
You wanna be a
companion to
cheesehammer.
any
Got
scanner,
it,
the
cheesehammer.
Compendium of American Railroad Frequencies, 13th edition, is a must-have for only $16.95. And
This
the
is an
Contemporary
ad!
Diesel Spotter's Guide, 2nd edition, is the diesel fan's perfect travel companion for just
I
$19.95.
fucking love this. So,
To order your Compendium of American Railroad Frequencies,
fun
Contemporary
story
Diesel Spotter's Guide,
about
or
this,
to subscribe to Trains magazine, Call toll-free
When I was about-
1-800-533-6644, 24 hours a day.
I want to say I was
For
10 years
faster
old.
service, call Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
My
Central Standard Time.
parents took me to a model
Outside
train
the
expo
U.S.
here
and
in
Canada,
Vancouver.
call 414-796-8777.
It's exactly what you thought. Model
Please have
trains
your
as
credit
far as
card
the eye
ready.
can see, right? So that was a lot of fun. And I basically cannot thank you for gifting a Trump Zero Girl. I love you. They had a raffle going, okay? And they had they had a raffle going, and it was basically a couple of baskets of prizes you could win. And they had one every couple of hours, I think it was, and it was like 6 draws every like 2 or 3 hours. So it's only going to be at
Hi,
the
I'm
place
Kevin
for
Keith,
one draw.
editor of Trains Magazine, and
Hi,
welcome
Trains
to On
Magazine.
Location,
Anyway,
the third in our video documentary
I got
series
6
about great
tickets,
train watching spots
and I
around
put them
North
all
America.
in
this
1
program, we're
hour's
going to
draw.
take you to
Yeah, that was
Burlington
it. It was like
Northern's Chicago
a couple of
Racetrack,
baskets per
37
hour.
miles of triple track main line between Chicago and Aurora, Illinois. The triple track is
Hell
famous
yeah!
for one thing,
Get
trains,
some.
and lots of them. Here you'll see BN freights, everything from intermodals
anyway,
to switch
they
runs,
drew 6
Amtrak passenger
baskets
trains,
at that
and of
hour.
course, Metra commuters.
I won
and we're also
3
going
out
to
of
take you
6
to BN's
baskets.
Cicero Yard, heart of the East
I
End.
won so much stuff
And
I
watch for
couldn't
more in our
carry it
On
back
Location
to my
series,
parents who
direct
had
from the
no
pages of
idea I'd
Trains
done
Magazine.
this.
And now,
I had to get
BN's
one of the
Chicago
staff to
Racetrack.
help me take it back to wherever the fuck my parents were. And they were like, holy shit, we've never had this happen before. So these tapes that I got are from those baskets. So they're about, God, how old are they? 1995. They're 20 years old. It's great. Wait, 30. Fuck. That's amazing. 30 years old. Yeah. So yeah, I was about 9. So these were all prizes that I got, and you can actually see like on the scans. Central Hobbies was the place that was giving them away. They no longer exist, bless them. They went down because the guy retired. But it was $44 30 years ago. Fucking crazy. Anyway, here we have, this one is, what was it? Burlington Northern Chicago Racetrack. Witness a relentless flow of BN freight trains, double stacks, unit coal
Burlington
trains,
Northern's
merchandise
main line
trains, and
through
locals.
Brookfield, Illinois, isn't exactly what you'd call a mountain railroad.
60 minutes.
The
Let's
tallest
watch.
thing in town is this water tower, complete with painted dolphins that honor nearby Brookfield Zoo.
Oh.
And the Rocky Mountain goats that roam BN's territory in western Montana are a far cry from this diesel switcher, otherwise known as a yard goat.
I call them road lickers.
Then again, mountain and mountain goats aren't the only things that recommend a great train watching location. There's certainly something to be said for commuter trains. These trains are operated by BN for Metra, the agency responsible for all Chicago area commuter rail service, and the BN through Brookfield is a showcase for Metra trains. But that's not all you'll see here. 13 miles east of here is Cicero Yard, BN's main freight classification yard in the Chicago area, which means that Metra shares these tracks with freight trains, and not just BN freight trains either.
Non-reunion.
Welcome to BN's Chicago Racetrack, 38 miles of high-speed, high-density railroading in the northeast corner of Illinois. Our story begins in downtown Chicago at Chicago Union Station. From there, we'll head west through Union Avenue and Western Avenue to Cicero Yard. West of Cicero, we'll continue west through Laverne and Brookfield. Then we'll bounce over the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad into the town of LaGrange. West of LaGrange, the racetrack takes on more upscale, high-speed personality. We'll continue west through such well-heeled suburbs as Hinsdale, Downers Grove, Lisle, and
Downtown
Naperville.
Downers
We'll
Grove.
duck under the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern Railway at Eola and continue west to Aurora, where the racetrack divides into 2 routes, the north line to Savannah and the west line to Galesburg. Technically, BN's racetrack starts at Canal Street, which is about a mile west of Chicago Union Station. This eastbound Metra train ducking under Canal Street is just past the signals that govern trains flowing from the racetrack to tracks owned and operated by Amtrak. By the same token, Amtrak train number 5, the westbound California Zephyr, has swapped Amtrak rails for BN owned and operated trackage.
I love this just fucking dull-ass voice this guy has. Oh. Siphon, for this stream, it is for song requests from the kind of golden VCR backlog. But on normal streams,
for BN's Metro commuters,
it's
the
actually
racetrack
make me
starts
sing
at
a
Chicago
song.
Union Station itself, which is located a few blocks west of Chicago's downtown loop.
So,
Stand in
to
the South
Pokemon Center
Concourse
theme.
around
I
5 in
actually
the
have to
afternoon
improv
on
a
any
song.
given weekday, and you'll see a flood of homeward-bound commuters headed for their afternoon train home.
It's something not a lot of
Commuter
people have
trains
done,
on the
but it's
racetrack
fun.
are called
It's
dinkies.
challenging.
It's a term that dates back to the days of BN's predecessor in these parts, the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, otherwise known as the Q. But defining the racetrack's commuters is another matter.
We envision the Metro customer as somebody who has moved to the suburbs, has a nice home for the wife, the kids have a nice school to go to, they commute by train into their job in Chicago, and the very first
Love
day
man with dress shirt
they
and
get
short
on that
sleeves.
train and sit down in a Metro coach in a bi-level gallery car, they silently
The
congratulate
songs I
themselves for
currently
having made it.
have
The Metro
are mostly
customer,
Peter
we
Gabriel.
think, perceives a certain
I have the
to having become a
BNSF,
real
I have
commuter.
Steam, Sledgehammer,
And yet
Kiss
the
That Frog,
demographics
Big
are so
and Big
different from
Time.
that.
I have
We're
3
maybe
versions of
70%
Steam.
white collar, 30% blue collar.
I also
There are a lot of
have
people
In
the
Your
construction
Eyes, which was
trades
requested by
building
Deb.
a new Chicago, who know that if they drive in with their pickup truck and all their tools,
I haven't
there's
had
no
a chance
place
to get
park
anything else
while they're
yet.
building another skyscraper. The existence of the Metro trains gives them the pleasures of the suburbs plus the efficiencies.
But if
of
you
the
don't want to
city.
do that,
We are the link
and you just
between
want to
two
kind of
parts
screw
of the good
around,
life.
777
Good place
bits
to
gets
live and a
you
good place to
a
live.
stand back alert, and 666 gets you a prayer bear.
We're standing on Roosevelt Road, that great train watching spot just south of the loop. 40 years ago, you
That's
could
the
stand
Sears
on this
Tower, I
spot
know
and see
that
the
thing.
trains of GM&O and the Pennsylvania Railroad and the Burlington. But today the action's still heavy with the commuter trains of Chicago's Metro
job.
and the passenger trains of Amtrak.
Roosevelt Road Bridge can be found east of the intersection of Roosevelt and Canal Street. On the northeast corner is the White Palace Grill. No one knows for sure how the Dinkies got their name, but there's a good chance the White Palace originated
Thanks
the
for the
phrase
666.
greasy spoon.
I need to
We're
work
standing
on
on
that
the
one.
north
That
side
one
of
was
the
like
bridge
really
around
quick.
4:45 in the afternoon. The Amtrak coaches
Yeah.
in the background are parked at Amtrak's 14th Street car facility. The dinky on the track in the foreground is an empty train known as an equipment train. It's moving from Metro's 14th Street coach yards to the south concourse of the station, where it will re-emerge as a loaded westbound train.
That was such a last-minute
The Amtrak
idea.
train chasing the equipment train is Amtrak's Southwest Chief, which is backing
Thank you
into
for
the
that.
station in preparation for its 5:20 departure.
Will.
The locomotives
Go
on each
Transit
end of the
Toronto
power
uses
consist are
use
General
Metro Gallery
Electric
cars to test out
AMD
having bi-level before they
103s,
swapped out the
otherwise
single-level
known as
cars. Okay.
Genesis units or P40s.
I almost rode the GO train when I was there, but I ended up renting
The
a
south
car.
end of Chicago
It's
Union
easier.
Station sees 3 Metro routes. The Metro train racing toward us is headed for the racetrack. This 4-car train on the far track is one of 7 Metro trains that use non-BN routes to Orland Park and Joliet, Illinois. But most Metro trains here,
Thank you for
73
2 bits,
in
Will.
all, are headed for the BN. Considering that the racetrack is also BN's main freight route to and from Chicago, you have to wonder how the 2
2
carriers managed to
bits.
coexist.
We handle
It's
upwards of
workshopping.
50,000
I kind
people
of
a
last
day.
minuted a bit
we
of
have
the
about
stream,
90
so
trains a day, passenger trains.
bits might
Managing
vary. They
the
may
operation
change.
from Chicago to Aurora, try to coordinate with the freight service and the maintenance of way and the other groups who want to use the track the same way we do. But basically, we just manage the people who operate the trains, the engineers and the conductors on the passenger trains.
Of all the 11
Hey,
routes
up that
that Metro
wiener
operates
score.
on
Fuck
radiating
yeah.
out from Chicago, BN
We
is
have
without
wieners. We should have
question the
wieners.
paragon. We
Sasquatch,
have
let's
a-
make
a
sausage.
thick
Let's
book
make
that we did
hot
a couple
dogs
of
for
years
lunch.
ago that looks 15 years into the future. If you had all the money you wanted, how would you design a commuter rail system? And it says right at the outset, the BN is the paragon. The BN is the epitome. A triple track railroad, full set of crossovers every 4 miles, each track signaled in both directions. You get so much flexibility. You know, locals on the outer tracks, expresses going around them, weaving back in to serve the middle zone, then going back out to the middle track to eyeball it to Aurora to get out of the way. Other trains coming back in, and freight trains mixed in as well. I've told newspaper reporters and television reporters and so forth that I'll stack up a BN dispatcher on the East End with any air traffic controller at O'Hare, LaGuardia, SFO. These guys are sharp. They know what they're doing.
like to learn more about how train command centers work. Like, genuinely, I have no fucking idea. It sounds crazy.
Union Avenue
Aw,
Tower.
cool.
Behind me, Canal Street, BN's junction with Amtrak and Conrail. Ahead of me, BN's main line, or what the Q used to call Everywhere West.
I did do a recent deep dive into abandoned stations. There's a shitload of abandoned stations on Chicago's rail lines.
The view
man.
from Canal Street Bridge shows all 3 legs of the Canal Street Y.
It's like half the
Amtrak's
lines
main
just
line
have
south of the Union
abandoned
Station
stations all over the
constitutes
place.
1 leg. Amtrak trains use this route to reach connections with Conrail, Santa Fe, and other railroads on Chicago's south side. This Amtrak switcher is working alongside Amtrak's 16th Street engine facility. Metra dinkies and Amtrak trains headed for the racetrack use the north leg of the Y in and out of Chicago Union Station. Trains from Conrail and other connecting railroads reach BN rails via the south leg of the Y. These BN SD9s lead a transfer train back to the racetrack from IC's Glen Yard.
This is so dry and yet so fascinating. Oh yeah, Will saying about the Thomas Tank Engine thing. I am going to stream that next week. So next week we'll take a look at the first impressions of the Thomas the Tank Engine game. I should download that actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I did buy it, and I did get the deluxe because I want to play
Freight's
games.
not the only trains you'll see on the South Y. Amtrak long-distance trains such as the California Zephyr back into Union Station by turning on the Canal Street Y. Here we see the eastbound Zephyr on the south leg of the Y. Minutes later, we see the train running backwards toward the south end of the station. The 2-step move keeps the noisy locomotives at the south end of the platform away from passengers getting off the train and positions the train for the yard and its next departure.
Can't have those damn noisy-ass trains. Let me know if the volumes ever need adjusting
Amtrak trains headed for Carbondale and New Orleans via the Illinois Central Railroad also use the south leg of the Y. Minutes after departing Union Station at 4 p.m., Amtrak train 391 for Carbondale backs west on the south leg of the Y to Union Avenue interlocking, just west of Canal Street. Then the BN Union Avenue dispatcher in Fort Worth, Texas, lines the train east. Minutes later, 391 climbs the St. Charles Airline, which connects BN and Union Pacific to the west with Illinois Central to the east.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you.
The airline is jointly owned by BN, UP, and IC, but other railroads use the airline as well. This Wisconsin
Pacific.
Central eastbound is headed for Markham Yard, IC's freight yard in the south suburb of Homewood.
What I wouldn't give to ride on an actual fucking train again.
BN's Union Avenue interlocking is more than just the connection between the racetrack, the airline, and the Canal Street Y. It's also the site of what was the last interlocking tower on the racetrack, Union Avenue Tower.
I loved working this place. It was right in the heart of things, right in the middle of the action.
Damn, that thing's
Fantastic
busted.
view out the window. I could see the Sears Tower, the skyline was there. I just thought the whole plant was fascinating. You had the airline coming down, which I thought was really cool. You know, joint trackage, different railroads, Northwestern, IC. And the big thing was this was within sight of where, as the old timers told me, it was the Burlington route, everything west. This is where it started. Was right back here at Canal Street. And it was everything about the place. It was the sound of it. It was the sound of the levers coming out, the snap of them, lights popping. Just a neat place.
The 1967 edition of the Consolidated Code of Operating Rules describes a manual interlocking such as Union Avenue Tower as an interlocking operated by an employee by means of an interlocking machine. At Union, the machine was built by General Railway Signal in 1931 with 144 levers.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
it was
Look at
operated by
that.
the practitioner of a fading craft, the lever man.
Wow.
You pull the lever, you have to make sure there's nothing on the track as far as track
Pull the
lights.
lever,
And
Crunk.
you pull the latch and you get a click. That releases it for throwing, switch is now throwing. The indications come in, and that lights up. You'll notice once it goes out, then you know it's free and you can pull it the rest of the way out.
The basics
The
of
light
signal
is the
blocking.
indication given back to us from the machines that the switch is thrown and locked up.
That's fucking wild.
The windows in the north face of Union Avenue Tower continue to look out over trains on the racetrack, but the tower is little more than a shell. The faded track
it's
schematic
sad
stares down
music!
at a machine that has handled everything from steam-powered dinkies to 14,000-ton BN unit coal trains. It stands in the gloom, partially disassembled. But the 60-year-old machine couldn't handle the passage of time and the advent of new technology. The tower died on October 17, 1992, when BN's signal department cut the cables that linked the tower to the switches and signals outside.
I said bye,
Today, a
bye,
CPU,
Mr. Tower
code-following
guy.
relays, and electronic code generators handle movements through Union Avenue interlocking. Union Avenue signal maintainer John Bitters calls what happened to Union a successful brain transplant. We can't argue with him, but we can mourn the fact that the tower's soul, the people who worked here, the meaning they gave to the tower's existence, didn't survive the operation.
What a interesting analogy.
16 city blocks west of Union Avenue is Western Avenue, the first of 3 major terminals on the racetrack.
Western Avenue Yard is an industry yard. We use a small amount of tracks for our industry switching and also storage for our intermodal flats. We load cars out of Western Avenue ramp going to the west coast on CHLBT and SP train and our train 15 and 17, one to Portland, one to Seattle.
Every day's Red Dog Day.
I have 2 engines that work out of Western Avenue Yard. One's a day shift that does industry switching.
Aprecio
One's an afternoon
especial.
job, also industry
69
switching.
cents for a cheeseburger? Fuck me. Ugh. Give. 69, nice. Ding, 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 ding. I always like it when they look like they're driving on the road. For whatever reason, that just tickles me.
West of the Western Avenue Yard lies one of the more complex interlocking plants on the racetrack, 22nd Street. The bridge spanning the tracks carries the Chicago Transit Authority's Douglas L train. Fortunately for BN, the CTA doesn't add to the challenge of operating trains through 22nd Street.
22nd Street is where we've got the track coming off of our track 4 main, goes down the hill to the CJ, or what do you want to call the Conrail, where we cross over the CJ Conrail to the CSX main line, which we go to Bar Yard, which is the old B&O, CSX at 22nd Street. There's quite a few connections that we deliver to Conrail and also the CSX, because there's a lot of traffic on the CJ and
Oh my
the
God,
CSX,
I thought that train
which
was
when we
carrying
pull
a
up there and
train.
ready to go down,
I was gonna be
we
like,
just
that's
have to
meta
wait
as
our
hell.
turn to enter the main line and continue on. A train like 160 can pull up to 22nd Street and maybe sit there as long as 12 hours, where I may have to recrew it due to the congestion at Bar Yard.
Dude, watching that train on the slope there is making me nervous.
We get a TV 261 from Conrail, which is an intermodal train, can be as long as 9,000 feet long, and also 1 to 2 ELBN, they call them, type trains, which is a dead freight train, boxcar traffic, coming into Cicero Terminal to be humped. Conrail doesn't have any length restrictions on their trains. If they can pull up there, the longest track I have in the receiving yard might be 4,500 feet. If they pull up there with 8,000 feet and I don't have room to bring it into Cicero,
Miles and miles of
I'll have to just let it sit there until such time as I can accommodate, and then send a yard switcher down there to get a hold of it and bring it into Cicero so that he can take up 2 or 3 tracks.
By the way, I won't be pausing for ads today. We're just gonna roll right through them.
I'm standing in Laverne in the western suburb of Berwyn, where BN takes on a split personality. Behind me is Cicero Yard, heart of operations here on the East End. East of here, the railroad has a personality of switch runs, transfer runs, freight classification. But west of here, that's where the high-speed action really begins.
Hey, look, it's CN! It kind of does. Let me see. Who's this announcer?
Don't let the sight of this Grand Trunk Western train fool you into thinking we took a wrong turn at 22nd Street and ended up in South Bend, Indiana. This is simply a westbound GT train heading into the east end of BN's major yard in the Chicago area, Cicero Terminal.
I think. I don't know if that's actually who it is, so... Kevin... That's a thing. Wow, I've never seen GT before. That's a cool color scheme. Not my Ford GT. Yeah. I like those. It looks familiar. Do I even have, have that train? Have that engine? My dad passed away a couple years ago, and we're kind of going through the garage to find all my stuff, and we're finally working on our model train stuff.
Actually, Cicero Terminal consists of 3 yards. CECO is a container facility that handles westbound trains such as 11, 15, and 17.
That explains why the CN was attached.
Like Western Avenue Terminal, CECO gives shape to the concept of intermodal as a means of moving freight via at least 2 different modes of transport.
As someone who lives in a port city, I see this shit all the time.
If the trains here are the queen bees, then these trucks are the worker bees.
Worker bees! Bees.
The intermodal concept is also alive and well at BN's Ogden Avenue ramp, located, logically enough, on the north side of Ogden Avenue. This hub handles TOFC traffic, otherwise known as trailer on flat car. TOFC got its start in 1885 when the Long Island Railroad began carrying loaded farm wagons on flat cars into Long Island City.
I don't want to have the thing too quiet.
This primitive form of TOFC sped up the process of getting the farmers' produce to market. TOFC is actually more expensive to move than boxcar traffic. That's because of the additional weight of the trailer and its rubber tires. And the trailers themselves create wind resistance, which adds to fuel costs. But from the looks of things at the Ogden Avenue ramp, TOFC is alive and well. Of course, Cicero Terminal handles more than just intermodal traffic.
Cicero Terminal
I love that truck that just says roadway.
Small yard. It's a hump yard. We have 43 tracks in the bowl, 15 tracks in the receiving yard. We try to hump anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 cars a day to stay up with the traffic flow.
Look at that. That's friggin' cool.
We take trains in from the north and west, bring them in here, hump them 4 connecting line roads.
No, he actually did say hump them,
bring them in here from the east, from the foreign roads, which comes in here to be humped to go north and west. So there's quite a bit of humping to be done, quite a bit. Our new superintendent is one of the biggest things he wants is to see us at 100%
get it
as far
out.
as on-time performance.
Run, bitch,
one of our major concerns is to get the railroad back up to, seeing as how we're an originating station, we should be able to do that and maintain it if everything's working just fine.
Locomotives also factor into BN's goal of 100% on-time performance. And when it comes to the care and feeding of locomotives, the place to be is BN's main engine facility in the Chicago area, Clyde Diesel Shop.
The function of Clyde Diesel Shop is to service and maintain a complement of about 20 engines that we have assigned here, and service and maintain road power as it comes in off the road in preparation for going back out onto the road. We do that through various methods. Obviously the common ones would be fueling, oiling, and water. We do our FRA walk-around so we can sign the 203 daily cards. We repair anything that's manageably repairable here, steps, brake rigging, things like that. And we try and keep up our end of the bargain for the rest of the railroad, because trains like 3 and 1 that go all the way to the coast leave and start from here. By
when do you get the
mechanical department
when do they get a bath?
our trains are to not fail.
Right, yeah,
leaving
the small
Clyde
hill in the
Diesel.
yard, so they do like they kind of push it over and let it go
which is
wee.
what they should get.
Yeah.
That's their expectations, and we're to live up to their standards. And I have no problem doing that. I don't think anybody here has a problem doing that.
I do find it wild that trains just ain't changed that much over the years. It's really cool. All sorts of cars there. Neat. Just a fucking parade of all the different types they have. Oh, that's a block on wheels. Well, that's a big bastard, that one, 6102. Yeah, that's true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But can you improve its efficiency? That was like a parade. I loved it.
Many of the engines maintained at Clyde are switch engines built by General Motors' Electromotive Division, otherwise known as EMD.
Frog has nothing to say.
EMD switchers have been fixtures on the railroad scene for so many years that we tend to take them for granted. Although you can sometimes find road units, such as this former Conrail GP38 in switch service in Cicero, most of the units are conventional EMD switchers that are more than 20 years old. What's it like running them?
Yeah,
Switch
hydrogen
engines
fuel.
definitely have their advantage.
Maybe one day.
And they also have their disadvantage. As you can tell, you're standing in here. It's nice and warm in here during the summertime. It's nice and cold in here during the winter. Every window has a leak or a draft in it. You'll stay with a cold all winter long. Everybody says these are a lot better than the old steam engines used to be. I don't know. I guess they probably are, but not by a whole lot. Burlington Northern switch engines here in Cicero Yard. About 50% of them are okay, you can work with them. The other 50%, they're old, certain things. The seating arrangements aren't always the best. The seats are uncomfortable. But for the most part, they're okay.
They're like broke-ass dogs. Got it. Drago, I am here for your train facts. Thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. A caboose! I love cabooses! Y'all ever get in the party caboose at McDonald's?
The terminal that
Jesus
originates
fuck,
as
thank
much
you.
traffic as Cicero has its share of problems.
Fucking love the party caboose.
But many of Cicero's problems can be traced to a specific bottleneck. From the Ogden Avenue Bridge that spans the east end of the yard, you might think the problem lies with the East End Tower, the structure on the left that controls traffic at the east end of the yard. But don't be misled by the buzz of activity here.
I find electric trucks interesting. Like, electric semis are very cool. I mean, that's a lot of torque, and that's what a semi needs, right? So
The root of Cicero's
that's kinda
problems can be traced to this innocuous-looking track a mile or so east of the East End Tower. This westbound Southern Pacific freight is heading into the Hole, the track that connects the Belt Railway of Chicago with Cicero Yard. The Grand Trunk Western train we saw earlier used the same track, and therein lies the problem.
Well, if you think about it, they all have to funnel through a single track between the BN and the Belt, which is between 26th Street and 31st Street, and trying to single track to and from the Belt. There's a lot of traffic that moves through Cicero over that single track, and it's got to be worked like clockwork, or otherwise you just have one big bottleneck. If the Belt has any kind of problem at all, it could backflow you from here to La Crosse, which is what we have to do. We have to monitor to make sure that we keep things flowing and that the Belt's got no problems and we're taking things to the right yard. And on top of the traffic we take to other yards across the Belt. We go to the NNS, we go to Bedford Park, we go to Forest Hill.
Mom said she found
we go to
photos
Santa Fe,
of
and all
me
off
and
the Belt Main
Thomas,
Line.
which I thought I hadn't found, but I don't know if she's actually told me. It was in Barry. I will be right back. I just got breath. I'm obviously going back. I'll be right back. yes, the Sioux! And a couple of cattle cars or transport cars. I have a couple of those in my thing.
As we mentioned earlier, the faucet that controls the flow of traffic
Actually,
at the
Sasquatch,
east end
that's
of
what you can
Cicero
do.
is
If you go
East
to my
End
mom's
Tower.
house on
And
Monday,
the hand on the
let's
faucet handle
do the model
belongs to
train
the East
stuff.
End Tower switch tender.
Well, I just manage the traffic here at the east end of the yard, in and out of
That's
the
a
yard.
name. Dick Hall.
Transfers from foreign roads.
It's no Bill Butts.
The inter-yard moves that have to pull by here to make their switch moves. I'm more or less a traffic cop to see to it that things move smoothly and efficiently without incident. I'm right on the verge here, or on the edge of the territory with the Union Avenue dispatcher, so that all of the trains have to go across the border between my territory and his. So he affects some control, but on my instruction as to what he turns loose and what he holds on to. And I like the challenge of getting this freight moved. It's something I really enjoy. One departure, all right. He'll be right in there, over.
All right, I'll give you the harbor out to north.
All right, I haven't called him on that harbor yet. I'll have to take care of that part.
Got Mac on the phone. He says he'll take them.
Okay. Be an East End Tower out.
Laverne is the Metro rush hour only commuter station at the west end of Cicero Yard. It may not be as busy as the east end of the yard, but it's just as interesting. For one thing, the bridge over the BN belongs to the Chicago Central, a regional railroad that links Chicago with Council Bluffs, Iowa. In fact, this eastbound unit coal train was delivered to the Chicago Central by the Union Pacific at Council Bluffs, complete with run-through 6-motor GE diesels.
What were those videos called again? The one with Dick Butt? Not Dick Butt. Bill Butt.
Laverne is also where BN's westbound freights
what were they
exchange
called
the
again?
tangle of Cicero Yard for the high iron of the racetrack. Because Laverne is an automatic interlocking plant, the East End dispatcher in Fort Worth can line westbound trains out any of BN's 3 mainline tracks to Aurora.
Eyewitness, thank you. Yeah. I think Trill, I'm pretty sure
Eastbound trains approaching Laverne are governed by the signals mounted on this massive signal bridge. Let's park on the south side of the tracks for 90 minutes or so on a weekday morning and see what rolls through, starting with Dinky 1256 at 10:15 a.m.
Yeah, it's actually one of the reasons I wrote to him, and I asked him for these tapes back, these specific ones. They are viewable if you click the links on Discord. Okay, so they're just unlisted now. Seriously, I hate that we don't really have any train transport. Hey, Jace! My favorite book! How you doing? Yeah. You can give him the lore. Well, come in and relax, Jace. We're watching train tapes today. Fuck yeah, Santa Fe! Dear among friends. Drago is doing us a favor and is listing all of the trains that we have on here. Drago, I'm gonna gift you a sub because you're awesome. Thank you. Thanks for all your knowledge. It's much appreciated.
The Canadian National trains on the racetrack are haulage trains. BN handles the eastbound trains from
I think that
Superior,
would
Wisconsin
be
to Chicago, where
Golden
the trains are
VCR
handed
Discord,
off to
right?
CN's American subsidiary, Grand Trunk Western. A signal bridge similar to the one at the west end of Laverne's plant can be found at the west end of the Congress Park plant in Brookfield. But Congress Park has something Laverne lacks: dinky flips. This dinky isn't stopped at Congress Park because of congestion or a mechanical problem. It's one of a handful of dinkies out of Chicago that turn at Congress Park and return east with revenue passengers. By flipping dinkies at Congress Park, Metra offers its customers more travel options between Brookfield and Chicago. What makes it possible? In a hyphenated word, push-pull.
When I first came to Chicago, I remember seeing this train with double-decker coaches in it going 60 miles an hour backwards. Engineer must get a stiff neck out there, and it was explained to me, and I was young. It was explained to me that no, this is the push-pull mode. Nobody's in the locomotive. There's a cab control car at the front end. There are 27-point connectors throughout the entire train, and he runs the diesel locomotive from the remote control cab up front, which from a control pedestal standpoint looks just like the engineer's position on a locomotive. And it saves you all the trouble of having to reverse your train or run around your train. We get to one end of the line, it's just the engineer sprints back up. If he's got a quick flip, as we call it, he'll sprint to the other end of the train and reverse the controls, and zing, he's going back into the city to become another rush hour train coming out.
We don't doubt the benefits of push-pull operation, but we can't help wondering how it feels to run a dinky at 70 miles per hour without the security of a locomotive nose between you and the next person who decides to drive around the crossing gates.
Just happens all the time. People in too big of a hurry. It's not that they're stupid, they just can't wait. You know, they can't wait 30 seconds. But they'll wait at a traffic light for 2 minutes, no problem. But they don't want to wait for us. You know, actually, I've seen these cab cars hit cars. One guy last winter parted 2 cars right in the middle there. There was damage underneath, you know, main reservoir, but there was no really physical damage. You know, I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, as fast as he was going, doing 70, slammed into 2 cars. I'm surprised that nothing happened, really. So they're a little stronger than you think.
Congress Park is where BN intersects another of the Chicago area's terminal railroads, the Indiana Harbor Belt. The physical connection between the 2 railroads is visible on the right, but the majority of BN's trains sail over the harbor, so to speak, and BN does little more than cast a shadow on trains moving on the harbor. Like the Belt Railway, the Indiana Harbor Belt is a separate entity with its own crews and rolling stock, but it mainly serves as a conduit around the outskirts of Chicago for connecting railroads. For the most part, the trains you'll see here are headed to or from CP Rail, Wisconsin Central, or Union Pacific's former Chicago and Northwestern.
Fun fact, if you look close enough, you can see Alex Horn playing hide and seek on the bridge while various British comedians are hiding from him. Thank you, Jace.
CP Rail trains use both the Belt Railway and the harbor to reach its terminal in the northwest suburb of Bensonville. Actually, CP trains make sense here, insomuch as CP inherited a 49% stake in the harbor when it absorbed the Soo Line in 1994. Conrail, the harbor's majority owner, prefers to operate its trains via the Chicago Junction through 22nd Street.
That. And I know they do too. Jacebook, enjoy your emotes. I don't have a train one. You get Cheese Wheel though.
West of the Indiana Harbor Belt, the racetrack
Please
rolls
go ahead and
through
use
a
Cheese
suburban
Hammer wherever you
landscape
want.
that's considerably more posh than the older suburbs of Cicero and Brookfield.
Damn right. I love that Cheese Hammer one so much. While we're watching this, I'm actually adding more things
Figuratively
to,
and literally, it's difficult to look down on the racetrack. A popular train
so
watcher's
I've got
exception to the rule is this single-lane
more
bridge
bells
over
and
the tracks
whistles.
at Highlands, another rush hour
Dan.
only station stop.
And eyewitness intro. Peter Gabriel is currently 777 bits. Fucking got me. Thank you for that. Thank you, Canuck. Fucking got me. There is one for 666 as well, which is
The
very
lack
cute.
of places to look down on the racetrack
tweaking,
is
but I
matched
like
by
how
the
it
number
turned
of
out.
places where the three tracks are anything but straight. Nonetheless,
anything
a
but
relatively
straight.
significant curve can be found east of Lyle Station. Granted, it's not exactly Conrail's Horseshoe Curve. Then again, Conrail doesn't operate trains this fast over Horseshoe.
Oh yeah, and I just did We Got Cake. So if you are a freak who likes elephants. I do need to steal the 72nd birthday.
BN's never-ending motive power shortage brings a rainbow of color and variety to the racetrack, including this leased Morris & Knudsen SD45 leading a chop-nosed BN SD9.
Sorry, Will, was that message for me?
Like the BN SD40-2s on this eastbound intermodal train, the locomotives that power the Dinkies are fairly routine. Metra's standard
must be missing a
locomotive is
reference,
EMD's
sorry.
3,000 horsepower F40, a four-axle Cowell car body unit. Like most F40s, the 24 units assigned to the BN have head-end
Yeah, I need
power,
the clip.
which supplies power for train lights and temperature control. Despite the difference in sheet metal, the same engine and electrical gear can also be found in Metra's
Is it her
slope-faced
birthday?
F40 PHMs, otherwise known as Winnebagos.
Blink, 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 blink. This just makes me want to go on a train journey.
Like Congress
Oh,
Park,
Dusty the
Downers
street
Grove
sweeping
hosts its
gal.
share of
Thank you.
flips. Here, a westbound flip sits on track 1, waiting to be lined back to Fairview Station. But first, there's the matter of a westbound dinky on track 2 to get out of the way. With the middle track clear, the east end dispatcher gives the flip a signal to move east through the Downers Grove automatic interlocking plant from track 1 to track 3.
Who mess? Oh,
After the
thank
flip
you
settles
so
down
much,
on track 3,
Stephen.
the
Yeah, that
dispatcher
works.
lines a second westbound through the plant, this time from track 2 to
I
track 1.
appreciate that. Stephen has graciously
You're not likely to
got
hear wheel
us,
flanges squealing against the inside of the rails
spreadsheets
on Naperville
for
Curve.
the
What you will hear is the
ones that were
smooth hum of
uploaded for VODs
fast-moving
101
dinkies
onward.
powered
So
by
thank
those
you so
EMD
much.
F40s.
If you want to see it, it's in my Discord under live stream chatter. I don't have Brazilian drums, no. I'm basically pulling. I
At
was basically
Naperville
pulling
Station,
from
the
memory
racetrack regains its straight-arrow personality.
of all the things
How
that I
you
could
view the
find
racetrack
easily, and this
depends
was
on
like
where you
last minute
stand.
shit.
You can say much the same thing about
So.
the attitude of the Burlington Northern people who manage and operate Metra's Dinkies.
Naturally, we want to make sure
I
the
love
train gets
dinkies.
from Aurora to Chicago and back to Aurora
Dinkies
safely,
is so funny.
efficiently, following the rules. And then secondarily, we want to make sure that we get the proper tickets and transportation from all the people that are on board. What I like about the railroad is that we're handed millions of dollars worth of equipment and
Doodly-doo.
millions of dollars worth of liability on passenger trains. And our officers trust us enough to send us out there and say, do the job, and we
I was
do it.
trying to find a hat like that for my VTuber, couldn't find one in time. I have to make my own.
We're standing at Route 59, the station between Aurora and Naperville, one of the busiest stops on the line. We thought we'd show you what happens over 8 hours on a typical day here, so let's lock down the camera and enjoy the show.
Ooh, ooh,
We chose
ooh, are we
Saturday,
gonna get like
September 2nd, 1995.
Are we gonna
for our
get
visit
like
to Route 59. The first train of the day was Metro Train number 1306.
Ooh, a day in the
While
life.
you're watching the action on the racetrack, keep an eye on the length of the shadow on the station platform.
Are we gonna, what's it called? Not a montage, a fast travel. I don't fucking remember. Oh my god, my brain hurts. Ding. Hey, cool. Seriously, this just makes me want to go on a fucking train journey. Ugh. Sad. Frog likes metro trains. Train. Chill ass music to watch trains to. I feel like I should steal this music. And like have that as like background music with the train noises and everything. That'd be nice. How's everybody enjoying this, by the way? I'm having a great time. Chilling out to trains. Right? This is kind of intermission music. Or even just like background music. Canada, represent! Does it say Canada? Amtrak, Chicago to San Fran. Wow. Neat. Fictional places. I wish I should get a I should actually get a BC command. Fuck. It'd be easy to do.
The third BN terminal on the racetrack is Eola Yard, located on the east side of Aurora. Like Naperville, how you view the racetrack at Eola depends on where you stand.
Ooh, those are cute cars.
At the west end of the yard, the name racetrack seems inappropriate. Maybe it's because BN freights often set out and pick up cars here.
Honk. Same, though.
The same thing should be especially true at the east end of the yard. After all, the signal in the foreground governs trains entering the racetrack from the east end of the yard. The east end of the yard is also within sight of where BN ducks under the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern Railway. In fact, BN regularly interchanges loaded coal trains with CJMN. Hardly a high-speed
like, oh no,
operation.
this thing's too smart.
No matter. At the east end of Eola, the racetrack lives up to its name.
Yeah, there's no AI here. So don't expect images to show up.
Burlington Northern and Metra each go their own way at the end of the racetrack in Aurora. The triple-track racetrack narrows to double-track as the third track drops down to Hill Yard. This is where the dinkies bed down and rest between rush hours. Daytime, however, is a different matter. Then you're likely to find at least one dinky parked outside one of Metra's most appealing stations, the Aurora Transportation Center.
The Aurora Transportation Center is a real gem. It does have the historical background of having been a completely circular roundhouse, the Aurora shops. I really like the statue out in front of the Aurora Transportation Center of the journeyman, again touching back on the tradition of old-fashioned railroading. The entire heritage around the Aurora Transportation Center smacks not only of what happened there for many years, but it also shows everything that is new and modern, including the new mini brewery that's going to go into the roundhouse run by Walter Payton, Chicago's hero. We'll be selling tickets to Chicagoans to go on out to Aurora just to have a beer.
When you're finished with your beer, you may want to stroll around the station itself, which was once the Q's Aurora car shops. You have to wonder what people who worked here in the days of wooden passenger cars and Lincoln pin couplers think about this cheerful place with its ceiling fans and well-dressed passengers. For that matter, what would anyone who worked on the Q's steam-powered dinkies think of these stainless steel bi-level coaches? Would they scratch their heads at the flurry of commuters rushing to catch their train to Chicago? And when the doors size shut and the train rolls east, would they gape at the sight of a diesel locomotive powering the train from the rear? As for the BN, it's more concerned with speed and tonnage than specters and tall tales. And two tracks seem to offer plenty of capacity to handle BN's freight traffic through Aurora, at least for now.
Oh, totally. Yeah, like, the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, oh god, fuck AI. Especially these days. Right? I haven't lost the audio, by the way. This part is just fucking silent for some reason. There we go.
On the west side of Aurora, the racetrack divides for the last time. The double-track main to Galesburg continues west, while the single-track main to La Crosse, Wisconsin swings to the north. Like all automatic interlockings on the racetrack, the job of fixing and maintaining these switches and signals falls to the signal maintainer.
Golden VCR was
From
great.
the look of things, this junction's a maintainer's nightmare.
But
Or
yeah,
is it?
it's just
With the amount of freight traffic we have up here,
there
the
are things
increase of
about
cars, the weights,
AI that now I
it
wouldn't
seems to
ever
take a lot more toll on the switches.
And
then the
yeah,
track
it got me
itself,
into
which
it got me into
requires more
VHS shit
maintenance
just to
and,
begin with.
More work.
I will say as well,
involved
you know what was
than
really
just,
fun about it
you know, figuring,
was actually
well,
the
general maintenance will take
the
care of it. That isn't
challenge of
always true. You
hunting
gotta
for
continually
VHS tapes and
keep
thrift
at it,
stores.
and if
That
you don't
was
keep at it, you're going to find yourself in a bind, and that's when you could get yourself in trouble. If you're
Hi,
a new
Circle.
guy,
Yeah,
that would be a
RubyVCR.
difficult spot
Hello.
to be put into. It's like getting used to anything. You got to understand the way the movement is made through the plants, all the different circuitry designs, all the switches, how
Welcome
the layouts
in.
are laid out. And then as you get farther east, you're getting involved in more diverse track and more switches and more configurations, more train movements, and it makes it difficult for a rookie, but as for
We're watching train
senior
tapes today.
man or
This
a
is the
guy who's
first
been
one.
around a while, it does. You get used to it just
Oh, God,
like
yeah.
anything else.
Like we've been saying
I don't
all
even
along,
have,
your
I'll be
view of
honest,
the
I don't even
racetrack
have the
depends on where
technical
you
how to
stand.
do that, and that was more of a, that was more for Alex to show off so that he could get a job. I don't need a job. Oh, squeaker. We do have forks. Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree, Trill, and that's fair. And that's why you won't ever find it on here. As cool, as fun as it was to kind of be a tech demo, fucking sunny, oh my god. Alright.
For our money, we'll take the west end of the station platform at Congress Park. The last light is faded from the western sky, but the signals are bright with promise. Suddenly we hear the pulse of an approaching train. The air sharpens with anticipation, and the race is on.
Rail meat, fuck off.
Hello, Dispatcher.
Hey, thank you very much. What a wonderful treat.
Come in 4 with him. You'll go through 1 departure.
Rail meat was so fucking stupid because I didn't know what the hell I'd done wrong.
Be in Easton Tower.
And why I had to keep unbanning it. 1995, Comeback Publishing
Come on
Company.
out with him, over.
All right. Oh, why are you? Hold up. Why are you on the wrong one? Okay, I want to mute this before. There we go. Okay. That was great. We are owed a sledgehammer, yes. So, let's go ahead. Hang on, KV's in the shower. We can't play it yet. He's almost done. All right. I'll tell you what then. How about more bells and whistles for free? Sorry. And we're rewinding. Because I remember seeing this as a kid. When it showed up on the stream, I just lost my shit so good. Gotta to turn it down to a reasonable volume. All of these are available on YouTube. In fact, that's actually where I'm ripping them from. I'm also setting this up for, like, future. That's great, Jago. Yeah! Awesome. Trill, you gotta let me know when they're out of the shower. How about Dan? This is basically Golden VCR Electric Boogaloo. This is RubyVCR.
This video program presents some information found in Dan's First Aid for Hazardous Marine Life Injuries.
This I stole from Golden VCR.
Ask your Dan instructor or Dan retail store sponsor about these and other training
I stole this straight up from Alex.
Dan carries a wide variety of first aid kits to meet the various needs of divers worldwide. Ask your instructor or call Dan for information on the best first aid kit for the areas that you dive. If you're interested in learning more and becoming trained to provide these first aid techniques, contact Dan or your local Dan retail store sponsor to sign up for Dan's First Aid for Hazardous Marine Life Injuries course. In the unlikely event that you have to handle a diving emergency, contact Dan through the Dan Emergency Hotline. Founded in 1980, Dan is an international nonprofit Dan, with its international headquarters located in the United States at Duke University Medical Center in Durham, North Carolina.
I don't have that
Dan
yet.
also has affiliates in Southeast Asia Pacific, Japan, Southern Africa, and Europe that can assist you in the unlikely event of a scuba diving accident or injury. If you suspect you've been injured while scuba diving, you can call a Dan Diving Emergency Hotline. Dan provides this service to the diving community 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to assist and arrange for evaluation and treatment of injured divers. Whenever you need help, Dan is there for you.
He is.
Dan works to prevent diving injuries and accidents. If you have a question concerning diving medicine, dive safety, fitness for diving, or for a referral to a physician knowledgeable in diving medicine, you can call Dan's Diving Medical and Safety Information Line. Dan also conducts research into why divers get hurt, looking into how flying after diving and various environmental and physiological conditions may affect diving safety. Another way Dan improves dive safety is through training and education. Dan has developed an oxygen first aid program and related oxygen delivery equipment to promote the benefits of emergency oxygen first aid for injured divers. Dan also offers training programs for physicians and emergency medical services
not putting
personnel.
I don't care
Dan
on here,
wants
man.
to
I don't
ensure
want to
that
get
oxygen
banned.
and someone trained in its use is available at every dive site
song.
and on every dive boat.
like
Dan
it.
provides these valuable services to the entire dive community.
Thanks, Dan.
Because of the support of the world's largest association of recreational divers, the Dan membership.
Jesus, I forgot how fucking long this thing
Dan
is.
members receive many valuable benefits, including Alert Diver, diving's leading safety magazine, Dan Travel Assist, access to potential evacuation in a medical emergency when you travel, and the opportunity to purchase the most affordable and comprehensive Dan available. Ask your Dan instructor or retail store sponsor how to get involved today. Dan is your Dan Safety Association.
Thank you, Dan. All right. Oh my God, I didn't realize this was part of it. I forgot. He did do a supercut. Yeah, I haven't downloaded that yet. I forgot that's where that was from. Damn. Fuck. That's amazing. Okay. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? Give me 1,000 bits, Drago, and I'll play it. But here, I have to do a little hammer time for the sledge. Enjoy, fuckers. And I'm gonna run a poll while this is playing, okay? to show you what the next one is. The numbers that are beside the names are how long they are. So there's a poll now. Here fucking comes. Yeah, baby!
You could have a steam train.
Everyone dance!
If you just lay down your tracks, you could have an aeroplane flying. If you bring your blue sky back,
All you do is call me. I'll be anything you need.
you could have a big dipper going up and down all around the bends. You could have a fun car.
Don't forget to vote in the poll.
This amusement never ends. I wanna be a sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? Oh, let me be a sledgehammer.
Yeah!
This will be my testimony. Yeah. Show me around your fruitcakes, 'cause I will be your honeybee. Open up your fruitcakes.
Tie that fucking bowl.
Where the fruit is sweet as
Y'all sickos. I wanna be
your
sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? Yeah!
You better call the sledgehammer. This will be my testimony. I'm your sledgehammer.
Doing this for the charity marathon was so fun.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Oh no! Colorado joint line. Thank you. We're gonna open that bitch up. That's a new one. I kick the habit. Shed my skin.
This is the new stuff.
This is the new stuff.
I go dancing.
We go dancing, yeah.
Show for me. Show for me. I will show for you. Show for you. Show for me. Show for me. I will show for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Show for me. Only you. You be coming through. I'm gonna feel that power.
We do not have God's property that will get me fucked up.
Come on, help me through. Come on, help me through.
I'm basically taking like the ones that I really liked, and also that won't get me banned. So there you go. Hey, that was Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, and it was fucking amazing, wasn't it? KV, do you regret everything? Oh man. Yeah, I hope it was good for you, KB. All right. So, I'm gonna do some ASMR. Hang on. Here we go. We're unwrapping it. This was sealed. This is a sealed VHS. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think Sledgehammer is much more of a ordinary one. Yeah. Don't forget Aardman Studios. All right. Here we go. There you go. Cellophane, baby! All right. Okay, so let me bring up the picture again. Just so you can see what we're doing. Train. Trot, whatever. All right. And this is... And we'll format it. Big screen. All right. So this is Trains on Location, Colorado's joint line. 2 railroads, 1 joint line. Experience the color and drama of big-time scenic western railroading on 119 miles of railroad jointly operated by Burlington Northern, Santa Fe, and Union Pacific. Watch as merchandise and unit coal trains work against the backdrop of Colorado's beautiful Front Range at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Experience a rainbow of paint schemes and locomotive types from the Rio Grande GP30s to BNSF's newest SD70 Max in the Heritage 2 paint schemes. I think I actually have a couple in those paint scheme. All right. Oh my God, there are pamphlets. I'll scan those later. Okay. Thanks, Trill. I will download this VOD and upload it to my YouTube channel later on. So if you want to catch the rest of it, that's where it's going to be. Oh, guys, this is a virgin tape. Copyright 1998. Ooh. There we go. Amazing. Yeah, really appreciate it. Cheers, guys. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah, gotta unmute it.
Trains Magazine. For more than 55 years, it has set the standard for excellence in railroad writing and photography. Now Trains brings you a series of video documentaries produced to the same high standards you've come to expect from Trains Magazine. Trains on Location. Cajon Pass, Santa Fe's heroic crossing of the mountains that ring Los Angeles. You'll ride a fast freight east from San Bernardino to Victorville. And you'll hit the highlights along the way, including Sullivan's Curve, Steins Hill, the top of the pass at Summit, and the flyover at Frost. Plus plenty of action on Southern Pacific's parallel line. Conrail's Horseshoe Curve. Capture the spirit of the famed Pennsylvania Railroad between the shop town of Altoona and historic Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
I'm kind of putting a
Along
thing
the
together
way, you'll visit Conrail's
future.
awesome Juniata locomotive shops. Visit interlocking towers where operators practice a vanishing craft. And thrill to the sound and fury of famous Horseshoe Curve.
The sound and the fury.
Burlington Northern's Chicago Racetrack. Trains once declared this to be the greatest piece of railroad in the world. And based on the evidence of this show, there's little reason to disagree. Appalachian Conquest. Is the Corbin Main Line of CSX one of the best-kept train-watching secrets in America? It depends how you feel about coal and merchandise trains grinding up mountain grades and blasting through tunnels.
How do you feel about them?
Southern Pacific's Cascade Crossing. 44 miles of twisting track, brutal grades, and awesome scenery in the Cascade Mountains of western Oregon. It's SP at its fighting best, at the golden height of summer and the frigid depths of winter.
War Bonnet and Blue Bonnet. Okay.
Conrail's Chicago
the
Gateway.
War Bonnet ones
It's more than just Conrail's freights on the Chicago line between East Chicago and South Bend, Indiana. It's also the trains of Amtrak, CP Rail, the Chicago, South Shore, and South Bend, and Kamershaw Steel Mill Railroads. Amtrak's Northeast Corridor. Explore Amtrak's high-speed multi-track main line between New York and Washington, D.C. Intercity trains and commuter
I don't know,
trains.
maybe.
Switching
it's been
operations
so long
at
since I even
Washington
looked
Union
at them.
Station.
Once
and
I get
action
them
on
looked
nearby
at,
CSX.
I'll take photos.
Tehachapi, the
There we
most
go.
celebrated
Tehachapi?
train-watching spot in the American West. SP's crossing of the Tehachapi Mountains between Mojave and
that's
Bakersfield
wiggly.
is
Look
the
at that line.
stage for non-stop railroad action, including the colorful trains of Burlington Northern Santa Fe. On the heart of the Wisconsin Central, you'll visit America's premier regional railroad between Waukesha and Neenah, Wisconsin. Get ready for a parade of die-hard diesels from EMD and pulse-pounding action on the railroad's steepest grade, Byron Hill. San Francisco, rails around the Bay Area. Treat yourself to the action and variety of freight, passenger, and tourist railroading around the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. And that includes a rainbow of diesel locomotive models from unique to antique. Ask for trains on location at your favorite hobby store. Or you may
Don't forget
order
your
direct
favorite
by
hobby
calling
store.
our 24-hour toll-free line at 1-800-533-6644. That's 1-800-533-6644. And look for more in the Trains on Location documentary series.
That's amazing.
Hi, I'm Kevin Keefe, editor of Trains Magazine, and welcome to On Location, our
I'm
series
so
of
happy
video
to be
documentaries
here.
about great train watching spots around North America. In this program, we'll take you to Colorado's Joint Line across the foothills of the Rockies from Denver to Pueblo. The Joint Line is one of the most celebrated railroads in the West, with heavy traffic from Burlington Northern Santa Fe and its rival Union Pacific. You'll see BNSF's and UP's latest high-horsepower locomotives, coal trains from the Powder River Basin, hard-working helper diesels, and great train watching spots like Palmer Lake and Colorado Springs. And watch for more in our
I love
On
how he's
Location
just cut
series
out.
direct from the pages
That's
of Trains
rotoscoping.
Magazine. And now, Colorado's Joint Line.
Sometimes it's hard to tell the players without a scorecard. That's especially true when it comes to Colorado's Joint Line between Denver and Pueblo. For one thing, the 119-mile route belongs to two rival railroads, Burlington Northern Santa Fe
Train
and
some
Union
more.
Pacific. What's more, each railroad represents several mergers that happened in the 1990s. For example, Burlington Northern Santa Fe is the 1996 marriage of Santa Fe and Burlington Northern.
The Burlington Northern and Santa Fe.
Union Pacific, on the other hand, includes the former Chicago and Northwestern and Southern Pacific railroads, folded into UP between 1996 and 1997. Let's face it, you can only paint so many locomotives so fast, which means that power consists on joint line trains tend to be colorful. But as we'll see, locomotives are only part of the reason why Colorado's Joint Line is one of the most exciting train watching spots in the West.
I'm sorry, what is this kick-ass music? Yeah! Fuck yeah, let's rock out!
Scratch the paint on those colorful joint line locomotive consists, and you'll find traces of the line's history. UP predecessor Denver and Rio Grande completed the first railroad between Denver and Pueblo in 1872. The line was part of General William Palmer's plan to connect Denver, El Paso, Texas, and Mexico City. BNSF predecessor Santa Fe arrived in Pueblo from Topeka, Kansas in 1876. Not content to hand over its Denver traffic to the DNRG, Santa Fe built its own route between Pueblo and Denver in 1887. As expected, the Denver and Rio Grande was not amused. To prove its point, it forced Santa Fe to build over the DNRG main line wherever the lines crossed. In 1885, BNSF predecessor Colorado and Southern acquired the bankrupt Denver and New Orleans, the third Denver-Pueblo line. Cursed with a poor route and a shabby physical plant, the CNS picked Santa Fe to handle its Denver traffic to Pueblo in 1899. In 1900, the Santa Fe and CNS decided to make their arrangement legal. Under a new joint line agreement, Santa Fe handled CNS through business between Pueblo and Denver. Switching at Denver fell to the CNS, while Santa Fe handled switching at Colorado Springs and Pueblo. In 1970, the CNS followed parent Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy into the Burlington Northern. William Palmer's Denver and Rio Grande became the Denver and Rio Grande Western. The Rio Grande later took Southern Pacific's name after it acquired SP in 1986. Despite the many changes, the DNRG and its successors were never party to the joint line agreement. In 1918, the United States Railway Administration took over America's railroads.
See, I don't know
during
shit about
World War I.
railway politics.
To ease congestion on the Denver-Pueblo route, the USRA eliminated the flyovers and created a jointly owned and operated double-track railroad. Today, southbounds leave South Denver and use the former Rio Grande line through Big Lift to Sedalia, the site of the first flyover. Northbounds use the old Santa Fe in the other direction. From Sedalia, southbounds use the old Santa Fe through Castle Rock and Larkspur. They then switch back to the Rio Grande at Spruce for the next 2.2 miles into Palmer Lake. Single-track CTC starts at Palmer Lake and continues through Monument and Colorado Springs to the start of double-track at Cruz. At Cruz, southbounds use the Rio Grande to the old flyover at Fountain. Then they switch to the former Santa Fe for the next 21.6 miles to Bragdon, the end of the joint line. UP and BNSF trains then use their own tracks from Bragdon to Pueblo, the first crew change out of Denver.
Gotta make those lines, baby!
The locomotives used on the joint line are as interesting as the line's history and operations.
Shit, what's the back of an earring? I'm gonna go on mute while I look for it.
SD-70 Max handle all BNSF coal trains on the joint line. Built by the Electromotive Division of General Motors, the 70 Max boasts a 4,000 horsepower 710 diesel engine. BNSF's newest units wear the railroad's Heritage 2 paint scheme, but all 70 Max share a critical feature, AC traction. Based on traction motors with fewer moving parts, AC traction offers superior performance and lower maintenance costs than comparable DC traction units. The newest DC traction diesels are BNSF's C44-9s. Built by General Electric in Erie, Pennsylvania, the Dash 9s turn out 4,400 horsepower. Older 6-motor road power includes EMD SD40-2s. The 3,000 horsepower unit may be the McDonald's hamburger of locomotives, with over 3,900 sold in North America between 1972 and 1986. SD40-2s also serve as helpers, along with their GE counterparts, the 3,000 horsepower C30-7. A shortage of power often requires BNSF to
Oh my
lease
god,
locomotives.
good news. I found
This
the earring
EMD
back.
SD45
Hallelujah.
belongs to Helm Leasing, a major railroad equipment leasing company.
Oh, I would have hated to lose that. Oh yeah, I know Silverton. Forgot about that one.
A The southbound BNSF freight shows a mix of smaller four-motor units of Santa Fe, Metro North, and BN Heritage.
Oh, look at those beautiful colors. Beautiful. Oh, are you kidding me? Guys,
the Boeing
okay,
airplane
just to kind of interrupt,
BNSF
one of the things that they offered in the Transit Locations video
Santa Fe
series,
GP30.
Union Pacific's Donner Pass. Bring a snack. Oh no, no, Donner, D-O-N-N-E-R, as in Donner Party. Donner Party, table of 5.
Some of UP's
Donner
oldest
Party,
freight diesels
table
happen to be
of 4.
GP30s as well. Rio Grande 3006 works a local between Denver and Sedalia. Built by
Donner
EMD in
kebab.
1962, it wears a design inspired by GM's automotive stylists. The key feature, a distinctive dynamic brake housing that seems to flow from the top of the cab to the front of the radiator section. The only thing keeping the Grand GP30s from the boneyard is UP's chronic motive power shortage. Eventually, they'll be replaced on this local, probably with 2,000 horsepower GP38-2s.
Cheesehammer,
like
I
this.
actually heard Sasquatch audibly groan, so good job.
The coal UP handles on the joint line originates on the old Rio Grande Craig branch in northwestern Colorado. Like BNSF, UP assigns only 6-motor AC diesels to coal trains. Instead of manned helpers, UP favors DPUs. These distributed power units are remote-controlled locomotives placed in the middle and often the rear of the train. The DPUs save money on crews and locomotive costs. Technically, the joint line begins at South Denver, 4 miles or so from downtown. An interlocking tower once protected the crossing of the Rio Grande and Santa Fe tracks at South Denver. Today, it's little more than a milepost location framed by Interstate 25 and the RTD light rail line.
Alameda.
From here south to Littleton, the joint
Oh,
line
that
is
looks
anything
cool.
but scenic.
I want to ride on one of
But for
those.
residents of Littleton, that's a small price to pay.
In Littleton, we had several grade crossings right downtown, and the city didn't like it. Coming through there at a slow speed, restrict the speed about, I think we could do 25 in those days through town, and they didn't like it tying up the town. So they acquired some funds and sank the railroad into a ditch. And we go through Littleton. That was quite a project. Now there's a ongoing project now involving Denver's RTD, Rapid Transit, extending the southward line from South Denver all the way down to Mineral Avenue, just south of Littleton. And they're putting in rapid transit lines right beside our tracks, moving our tracks over a little bit here and there, new signal bridges, everything. Quite a development and changing the face. And the best part of it, now that I'm in grade crossing safety, is it eliminated a lot of very, very dangerous grade crossings. We're glad to see those gone.
750 million years before men spiked down the joint line, Colorado was largely flat and covered by a shallow sea. 500 million years later, the Rocky Mountains began to rise. The fuel burned by these locomotives was once plants and animals that lived and died during this time, known as the Paleozoic era. The slow transformation of those life forms into today's fossil fuels was still going on when the Gulf of Mexico crept north some 70 million years ago. Colorado was again submerged, and the mountains became underwater reefs. Eventually, the inland seas retreated to reveal the beginning of the landscape we see today. And after millions of years, the fossilized remains of the plants and animals that once populated Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana flow south on the joint line in the form of low-sulfur coal. If you think the word lift in Big Lift means lifting truck trailers onto railroad flat cars, you're right. But you won't find any evidence here of trailers on flat cars, commonly called TOFC. Although Santa Fe built Big Lift as a TOFC terminal, it lost that function when the railroad gave up on intermodal traffic between Denver and Texas in the late 1980s. Today, Big Lift survives as little more than a 6-track concrete apron public team track, a place to transfer bulk commodities from rail cars to trucks. It's also a convenient place to park BNSF helper engines like these SD40-2s between assignments. One of the quirks of the joint line is that a station can have 2 milepost markers. Sedalia, for example, is milepost 24.53 on the southbound track and 712.5 on the northbound track. The suburban sprawl that engulfed Littleton over time has yet to reach Sedalia. It still looks and feels like a small western town. Granted, the old Santa Fe depot is gone from the north track, but it only moved as far as someone's backyard off the highway that runs through town. Even if the new paint isn't authentic, you can't miss the Santa Fe signs on the old structure. Meanwhile, the heart of Sedalia stands along the 2-lane highway off of Santa Fe Boulevard, sandwiched between the north and south tracks. Stroll by the town post office and you might even find a pair of local kids chucking rocks across the south track. The rolling, windswept prairie that surrounds Sedalia typifies the scenery along this chunk of the joint line. This is Douglas County, 5,400 feet above sea level and one of the fastest growing regions of the United States today. Mind you, growth was not the most important thing to Douglas County's first inhabitants. The area's Native Americans enjoyed shelter from winter storms of the mountains. In addition, they were just outside the reach of the extreme heat and scanty moisture of the plains. Douglas County was also one of the first stops along the route from the east to the western gold fields in the 1850s. Colorado's mining boom went bust in 1893, but more than 100 years later, the migration of people to the area continues. You can see as much when you're driving Santa Fe Boulevard between Sedalia and Castle Rock. The first suburbanites came here to escape the problems and congestion.
Yeah, watch out for Engineer Dave,
every new
yeah.
whitewashed suburban housing development brings
Can't
more
fucking be
residents.
trusted, that guy.
And as the population grows, residents find themselves facing the same problems they thought they left behind. One of these problems is traffic. With only 2 lanes through Sedalia, Santa Fe Boulevard can be a frustrating commute to and from Denver. Fortunately, the joint line to the west of the highway offers relief for anyone who loves railroads. Northbounds usually roll downgrade at the maximum speed of 45 miles per hour. It's a different story for southbounds as they claw their way up the 1.4% grade that ends 35 miles to the south at Palmer Lake.
The engineering genie might have some kids. I think it's because they're always on rails, right? That train speed is so fucking deceptive when you're looking at it from this angle. This is going like real fucking hard. But you're like, I don't see it, it's slow as shit. But it's not.
With county offices, the county fairgrounds, and Interstate 25 running through the middle, Castle Rock is the center of business and government in Douglas County. Like Littleton, agriculture played a role in Castle Rock's development. A glimmer of that past lingers along the north track, a stone's throw away from the town's main street. Castle Rock got its start in 1874 when the scattered settlers in the area banded together and successfully mounted an effort to have the town declared
I'm gonna
the county
test something
seat
in
of
chat.
Douglas
Let's see if it
County.
works.
Today, 3,900 people call Castle Rock home.
Unexpected identifier.
Like Littleton, urban development crowds the joint line tracks through Castle Rock.
Oh, no, why is my
Concrete
face
wave crashing
crying?
against a breakwater. We're standing behind the town's McDonald's restaurant, located in a strip mall near the south
I'm working
track.
on it.
Of course, if you have to wait in line for fast food, you might as well enjoy this view.
Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay.
Fortunately, Castle Rock has more to offer than strip malls and fast food. The town owes its name to a stone outcropping shaped very much like a medieval European
I don't know
castle.
fuck about code.
No matter which side of town you're on, regardless of the direction a train is moving, the distinctive landmark always identifies where
I'm
you are.
working on it. Fuck yeah! It works! Now let it go to everybody. It has a cooldown, but there you go. You know how we now have a BC command. I'll make it a 30-second cooldown. Will, we have BC back. That was remarkably easy, and I learned how to do paste bin. Salmo! Amazing. Yeah, I learned how to use paste bin. That was fun. I'm learning all sorts of things today. Oh, right. I was also in the middle of the thing. Why is that, Drago? Out of curiosity.
South of Castle Rock, you can drive the old highway and keep an eye on the south track at least as far as Palmer
That
Lake.
harmonica did fucking go hard. I like
The
that.
scenery here is pastoral, almost rustic. This is ranch country with a view of the Rockies. As for train watching, nothing beats going trackside at any of the grade crossings between Larkspur and Toma.
Okay, I have Dusty the Street Sweeping Gal. That is an official thing I have now. I have a lot of these. There we Whistler, the capital of British Columbia. At least it thinks so.
A massive bridge lettered for the Santa Fe dispels any doubt about whose track this was before the 1918 realignment.
You have one SD40 and the trailing locomotive behind it, a B units with something
Southbound
wrong with the
UP
lead. You're now
trains take
stranded
different
because B
routes
units don't
after
have
they leave
cab
the joint
controls.
line.
Oh,
Some
makes
use the old
sense.
Colorado and Southern
Cab
route to
controls,
Texas
got
with
it.
BNSF crews. Others head east with UP crews toward La Junta, Colorado on the old Santa Fe. Most BNSF coal trains use the joint line to reach power plant customers in Texas.
Yeah.
Generally, rail fans consider Larkspur the north end of the most scenic section of the joint line.
There we go.
In our opinion, the railroad between Greenland and Spruce feels
Right.
like the most remote
Got
part
it.
of the joint line.
That makes sense.
It seems wild and untamed, in part because there's little sign of development. Even Interstate 25, the busy thoroughfare between Denver and Pueblo, seems a million miles away. You half expect to hear the labored breath of a Santa Fe 484 steam locomotive. Not that the trains BNSF and UP operate today are anything to complain about.
I think I'm good for uploading things now. I've got like a bunch of stuff on the stream now because of this. It's hilarious. Oop. Grand Forks. It's very creaky. Ooh, there you go.
Northbound trains rumble through the rolling prairies of Greenland like ocean freighters slicing through a golden sea.
Man, I was so into that train ASMR, the frog scared the shit out of me! Meanie.
In that regard, the Greenland Ranch's well-maintained barn is a bright red lighthouse. Farm dogs trot out to meet visitors at trackside.
Woofers!
We can only guess they're used to the sound of passing trains, given the amount of traffic that the joint line stuffs through Greenland.
Bark, 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 bark! That's great. That made my day. Oh, pardon me. favorite railroad. I don't know enough about them, to be completely honest. I'll tell you about my favorite train journey, and that was in Switzerland. I went from Basel to Lucerne through into the Swiss Alps, and that was amazing. It was 2 hours, and there and back again, like 2 hours there, 2 hours back, and it was a real gem for someone who doesn't have access to like passenger trains here. It was really nice. I'm not a big railhead. I'm just not. I appreciate trains though. Love what they do. I'm gonna move stuff around so I can actually watch it now in peace. Yay.
Spruce offers a glimpse at one of the flyovers where the Santa Fe once crossed over the Rio Grande. We're looking north at the spot where the abandoned Santa Fe track connected with the current southbound main. A concrete abutment shows where the Santa Fe flew over the Rio Grande below. That same track continued north to join the present northbound main, which sits east of the flyover.
Oh.
In case there's any doubt about who owns what, a sign next to the reconfigured south track spells it out clearly.
I own this fucking road.
Here we see a southbound BNSF coal train veering to the right as it leaves the old Santa Fe line for the Rio Grande. Even after the 1918 realignment, the hump that carried the Santa Fe track over the Rio Grande remains in place.
That's annoying. Alright guys, I will be right back.
The height of the old flyover is clear from the abandoned Rio Grande right-of-way. This southbound UP merchandise train is on the rails of the 1918 connection that bridged the original Santa Fe and Rio Grande tracks. A southbound UP coal train rolls off the USRA connecting track to the old Rio Grande line. When the USRA reconfigured the south track at Spruce, it created a sag. Southbound trains enter the sag and level off for a bit, long enough to catch their breath on the climb to the summit.
These are my rails, you can't have them.
Not every train sails over the realigned south track. Sometimes southbound trains will elect to stop at Spruce, while northbounds clear the end of single-track CTC at Palmer Lake.
So just an FYI, I don't think I'm going to have time to show the last video.
Crawling up to the signal at Spruce.
Let's see where this one ends.
In accordance with the rules, the southbound can proceed to the next signal at reduced speed. Instead, the southbound stops in the sag and waits. The engineer knows the next signal is red. What's more, the climb from here to the crest of Palmer Lake is the steepest on the district.
Ooh.
If the engineer takes his train to the summit and has to stop for any reason, he risks busting a drawbar or a coupler knuckle. So he holds at the yellow board at Spruce, knowing he can restart the train from here much easier.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The northbound turns out to be another UP freight, a merchandise freight chasing the last light from the overcast sky. By the time the northbound train blows for the Greenland Ranch crossing, the signal for our southbound coal train turns green. The big AC diesels knuckle down and ease the loads out of the sag. As the lead unit passes the signal, it flicks to red. But the signal isn't the only bright color in sight.
And I'm frozen. I gotta do something on my iPad, on my iPhone.
As the middle of the train clomps past, we're amazed to see flames erupting from the stack of one of the DPUs, an SP-AC 4400. Like an angry finger jabbing at the sky, the flames mark the progress of the coal train on the downhill side.
Flipping off God. Boo, cheese hammer, that's awful. Yeah, I've been sent to the shadow realm temporarily while I do shit that I haven't done this morning. Oh, he on fire! He burning. Okay, I'll be back now.
Even without flaming locomotives to contend with, the humps at the 3 old flyover locations present an operating problem for heavy trains.
Well, running is all very, very slow uphill and sometimes pretty fast downhill. And if we're not going up, we're going down. It's one or the other. We have some,
that's a fucking philosophy. We ain't going up, we're going down.
In Pueblo, or some of the freight trains that qualify for 55 miles an hour, and that's our fastest speed. And northbound, if we have 2 locomotives on line, it's just whatever you can do with 2 locomotives with an empty coal train. You could probably kick it up 30, 35, maybe 40. Yeah, the flyovers you'll notice was Sedalia and Spruce and Fountain. And the government came in 1918, straightened those out where we have one railroad track this way and one that way for directional running. Well, they're quite a hogback, a little hump. And so they were not designed for these 115, 116 car coal trains, 16,000 tons, which we operate today. They're really put the knuckles in a stress. Well, you can have too much power, and if you have a weak link in the chain, and as that chain is humping over that little hogback, if it's a weak knuckle or a weak coupler, you're going to find it. So sometimes we relax the power on the head end, going over those humps.
That's fascinating to me. This is the kind of stuff I wanted to see.
Pull apart. So you just, after so many years, you just learn where it is, and it just automatically, just kind of happens. And I like to show the new trainees is the same thing. It keeps them having to, pull apart. And the train comes to a stop, and now a lot of delay it, and the whole pipeline comes to a standstill while you're out there in the middle of the winter trying to change a knuckle. And it may be 20 below zero.
Palmer Lake is noteworthy for a number of reasons. For one thing, this is the end of double-track operations.
Oh.
For the next 32 miles, the joint line is a single-track CTC railroad. Double-track ABS resumes at Cruz and continues to the end of the joint line at Bragdon. Palmer Lake itself is an artificial lake created by the Denver and Rio Grande to collect water for steam locomotives arriving at Palmer Lake from both directions. When a steam engine crested the summit and started downhill, the crown sheet above the firebox at the back of the boiler had to remain covered with water. Therefore, it was imperative for all trains to take on water at Palmer Lake if the tender was running a little low. A channel built into the hills to the southwest funneled water to the lake. Diesel-electric locomotives obviated the need for locomotives taking water at Palmer Lake, but to the best of our knowledge, the collection system remains active, a tribute to the DNRG's ingenuity.
At Palmer Lake on the joint line is, of course,
I actually I found that really fascinating. A lot of these towns that sprung up along the railways when railways were new disappeared with the advent of diesel and shit because they no longer had trains to stop there. They didn't need water or coal.
Palmer Lake is where we push all
so that's why you got all these abandoned places next to where the trains go. It's kind of neat.
52 miles. Cut off the pushers there, and pushers return back to Denver light engine because that locomotive power is not needed south of Palmer Lake. It's all mostly downhill. So the pushers return north to get ready for another push on another train.
Every southbound BNSF coal train goes through the same ritual.
Yeah, neat and unfortunate.
Cars skitter across the lone grade crossing with the certainty of locals who know how long the railroad will tie up the town.
Oh God, yeah. You get that 100 cars and you can see it coming and you're like, God damn it, I missed it. I've been stuck behind some big trains, fuck. One time it was like 30 feet away from my workplace. and I couldn't do anything. So I was on the wrong side of the tracks. Oh, that's frustrating.
From a different vantage point on the other side of the crossing, we see the head end of the coal train as it tops the grade. After the train stops, the helpers uncouple from the rear and move back a few feet to allow the conductor to reattach the coal train's telemetry device, known as a Fred. Moments later,
I know that was
the
like
coal train
thread,
heads
but I
south as the
definitely
helpers
heard
follow
Fred.
gingerly at a
Like
short
F-R-E-D.
Then the helpers continue south.
Yeah. Gotta attach that Fred. Body. Ow, motherfucker! I hate
Moments
that noise.
later, the helpers head back north to Big Lift. There, they'll await the call to assist the next southbound coal train. After the helpers clear, a UP coal train heads south. The DPU helpers will stay with the train to Pueblo, allowing it to roll through Palmer Lake without stopping. Anyone driving through Palmer Lake would likely agree this sign for an old Kaiser Frazer garage is worth checking out, a totem from pre-war America. As for us, we'd vote for a stop along the joint line, where the single-track main offers a parade of trains.
Choo-choo, motherfucker!
Another relic at Palmer Lake is this bridge, still lettered for original owner Rio Grande.
Look at that, that's cool.
Monument sits at milepost 57.2, the location of a 6,900-foot-long passing siding, the shortest CTC siding on the joint line. The double tracking of the joint line in 1918 eliminated the need for passing sidings. The railroad essentially became a two-lane highway. Trains moved one way on the north and south track without meeting. Unfortunately, what the plan didn't eliminate were grade crossings and noise problems in the city of Colorado Springs.
The reason it's single track between Palmer Lake and Colorado Springs and Cruz is because about the late 1960s, the city of Colorado Springs wanted the northbound or the Santa Fe track out of there. It wound around through a very residential area, right in alleys and streets and right beside people's houses and garages, and they didn't like all the noise at night, blowing for the grade crossings. So the railroads involved, the Rio Grande and the Santa Fe, thought, well, everything's okay with us. We don't find anything wrong with the tracks. But the city finally put up $1 million and said, look, now we're pretty serious about this. We want
Look,
that
shut
track
fuck up.
So that made the railroads kind of take notice, and so they worked out an agreement where they would take out the Santa Fe track from Cruz to Palmer Lake, and then use the Rio Grande track for all trains both directions, and put in some sidings at the Monument and Academy, and of course Colorado Springs, CTC sidings, and Kelker. And so that was done about 1973, 74, and about coincidentally at the same time all this happened was started mining and shipping coal out of Powder River, Wyoming.
We've been watching VHS tapes. Welcome in.
Texas and Kansas, and that created quite a bottleneck, which we still have today, trying to get all the heavy tonnage trains through that bottleneck of single track.
The abandoned Santa Fe Main is now the site of the Santa Fe Regional Trail. The right-of-way that once carried the weight of Santa Fe freight and passenger trains belongs to bicycles and hikers. Although the Santa Fe track through Monument is gone, the railroad won the right to dispatch the CTC section that still belongs to Rio Grande's successor, Union Pacific. BNSF may dispatch the line, but it hasn't squashed the spirit of the old Rio Grande. At least not as long as BNSF trains continue to roll past this 50-foot boxcar, stored here for at least 20 years.
Good God.
From what we can tell, the two rivals coexist peacefully on the single-track section. And regardless of who's calling the shots, you won't hear us complaining about the train watching south of Monument. Our Colorado guidebook claims the U.S. Air Force Academy is something of a tourist attraction. It notes the 18,000-acre officer training campus is impressive for its beautiful grounds, rife with wild game in the forests at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. We couldn't agree more, especially once we got permission to go trackside at what railroaders call Academy.
It's a train journey. We're talking about the Burlington, it's Colorado's joint line, where the Burlington Northern Santa Fe and the Union Pacific share the load. Wiener!
Deep inside the Academy grounds,
I can up my wiener score,
some of
thank
the joint
you!
line's
That's my husband,
pre-Amtrak
he's giving
glory.
me a hot dog.
The tracks at Stadium once held special trains that carried cadets to Academy football games and other special events. Today, the tracks are empty, except for an occasional car that's been set out or stored for some unknown reason. In 1871, the Denver and Rio Grande's William Palmer bought 10,000 acres of land near Pikes Peak and launched a city that would become known as Colorado Springs. Originally called Fountain Colony, Palmer envisioned the Springs as a thoroughly modern and upright community. Conceived from the start to draw tourists to nearby Pikes Peak and other scenic attractions,
My wiener score?
Palmer's planned community grew to a thriving city of some 291,000 people. Like California's Silicon Valley, high-tech industries fuel Colorado Springs' economy. With the growth, the Springs have taken on the feel of Denver and other large urban areas. Only the mountains keep the urban developments that engulf the joint line from sprawling much to the west. Downtown Colorado Springs offers a glimpse of the city's earlier charm. The old Rio Grande station survives, a reminder of the days when the Royal Gorge and other passenger trains called here. Today, the structure hosts an Italian restaurant that offers an even better view of the tracks than the McDonald's parking lot back in Castle Rock. Parking near the old station isn't limited to the restaurant's patrons. This week's UP local rates SP 7131 and EMD GP40 upgraded by MK Rail with new components. The result is a GP40M rated at 3,000 horsepower, more than enough power for local switching chores. The unit wears Southern Pacific's Shonen speed letters, similar to owner Rio Grande's own logo. Unlike 7131's paint scheme, the inspiration for Santa Fe's Superfleet colors came from the past. The red and silver war bonnet scheme harkens back to 1937.
I do
when
love
EMD
that scheme.
predecessor
That's my favorite
Electromotive
Santa Fe
Corporation
scheme.
applied the colors to Santa Fe's first streamlined passenger diesel.
It really does.
Another paint scheme with historic roots is BNSF's heritage colors. Although the railroad claims the colors represent several components of the 1970
And of
BN
course our
merger,
classic orange.
the colors really harken back to predecessor Great Northern's post-war paint scheme. Predecessor BN painted its coal service SD70 Max in this paint scheme. They're called Grinsteins, after then-President Gerald Grinstein, who chose the colors.
That's neat. That's
This
retro.
engine house is the only evidence of the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific's decision to choose Colorado Springs as its western terminus in the 1880s. The Rock also operated to Pueblo on Rio Grande trackage rights. Today, the engine house and 500 feet of track belong to the Pikes Peak Historical Street Railway Foundation. The interpretive center features a number of trolleys, including PCC cars built in the 1940s. If the single-track CTC section is the joint line's waist, then cruise is the railroad's hips. That's because double-track operations return at cruise. Unlike the southbound track between Spruce and Palmer Lake, there are no sags to interfere with train handling. Northbound trains on the old Santa Fe simply ease to a stop at the signal that protects the end of double track. This is the first controlled CTC signal northbounds encounter since leaving Bragdon. Another sign explains who's responsible for what north of this point. Moments later, a UP SD90 Mac threads a southbound freight onto the old Rio Grande main, now the South Track. The abandoned Santa Fe abutment at the south end of the old Fountain flyover offers a fine view of a BNSF freight on the southbound main, the former Rio Grande route. Moments later, a general merchandise freight slams north.
Yeah, I know. Trolleys are cool.
View from the abutment with a telephoto lens shows the way the Rio Grande line was realigned with the Santa Fe to form the northbound track. Near the site of the old flyover is the south end of the track the USRA built to connect the two routes. What's harder to see at first is the remnants of the north abutment, now little more than a nondescript mound to the northeast of the flyover. For all intents and purposes, the joint line ends at Bragdon, 11 miles north of Pueblo. A cluster of signals guards the interlocking at Bragdon. The track swinging off to the right in the distance connects BNSF's Pikes Peak sub with the joint line northbound main. This track peeling off to the right takes UP southbounds down the former Rio Grande main to Pueblo Junction. Once UP southbounds leave the joint line, they go one of three directions: west to the Pueblo Yard, south toward Trinidad with BNSF Cruise, or east towards La Junta, Colorado. Southbound BNSF trains follow the old Santa Fe main through Bragdon. From here, they continue into Pueblo Yards and Pueblo Junction. Many BNSF northbounds swap crews at Pueblo Junction and use the former Rio Grande main to Bragdon.
Like I said, this whole thing just makes me want to go on a freaking train journey so bad. Pueblo!
The city of Pueblo has a blue-collar pedigree, hardly surprising given its claim to the first fully integrated steel mill in the West. Pueblo has something more elegant to its credit, the Union Avenue Historic District. Renovation of old downtown means many of the old buildings have been converted to gift shops and cafes. Anchoring the district is the 1870 vintage Pueblo Union Depot. The four-story Romanesque Revival building once served the passenger trains of Santa Fe, Rock Island, Rio Grande, Missouri Pacific, and Colorado and Southern. Pueblo's population is about 102,000 people and one steam engine, Santa Fe Northern number 2912. The Big 484 is the centerpiece of the Pueblo Locomotive and Rail Historical Museum, located near the depot. Delivered to the Santa Fe between 1943 and 1944 by Baldwin, the 2900s were the biggest and heaviest Northerns ever built. Standing on 80-inch drivers, the 2912 delivered more than 79,960 pounds of tractive effort to the rail. A plan to restore the 2912 to full operational condition is the cornerstone of the Society's living history approach to preservation. A railroad museum planned for the old Rio Grande Freight Depot will eventually house the rest of the group's collection of Colorado theme equipment. As for contemporary railroading, we recommend the street bridge near the Pueblo Union Depot. From here, you can see the south end of UP's Pueblo Yard. Before UP closed Tennessee Pass, the yard inspected and serviced all east-west and southbound trains. Today, it sees little more than a twice-weekly UP local west of Pueblo and trains to and from Alamosa. The bridge is a good place to think about Pueblo's past, the days when passengers strolled out of the Union Depot to board Missouri Pacific's Colorado Eagle for St. Louis, or Rio Grande's Scenic Limited for Salt Lake City. 40 years ago, who would have guessed that both railroads would end up in Union Pacific's camp? Time doesn't just pass us by, it catches us by surprise. All we can really do is live fully in the moment. For us, that means turning our attention to the next train.
That's kind of cute. Should almost be done with this video. Epilogue.
As a spiritual path, looking into the future seems as pointless as dwelling in the past. On the other hand, there's a lot to be said for planning ahead, especially when you're in the railroad business. For the joint line, planning means eliminating the current single-track bottleneck by replacing the second main between Palmer Lake and Cruz. The plan is to simply absorb the present sidings and prudently locate CTC crossovers to improve operations. What does the future hold? Hey, don't ask us. We're too busy at trackside enjoying one of the best shows in all of Western railroading, Colorado's Joint Line.
Cute. Hey, there we go. That was Colorado's Joint Line by Trains on Location. What do you all think? I like that. That was pretty good. Wow. That was a lot of fun, guys. Holy crap. What a... Time flies. Jesus, I thought I'd be able to get 3 in. I cannot, because I have to end. Ooh, we got some honky-tonk, though. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. That's some good shit. Yeah. Like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to say this is going to be a regular thing, but now that I've kind of got the setup for it, we can definitely do this again. You know, with some other videos, maybe. But I really did like the trains. Quick tube and a good one. Yeah. That was fun. Copyright 1999. Thank you very much. Sweet. All right, gotta mute that because that's gonna get loud. There we go. Well, tell you what. While I search for someone to raid, you do know what we're gonna do, right? Aw, yeah. Trains rights are, that's fucking great. Go on a fucking ride, baby. This one's free, from me to you. Cause I fucking love this song! And this is also kind of a little treat for KB if he watches the VOD. Get better! Yeah! That's a great frog for this! Amazing. That was so good. I think Golden VCR actually was the inspiration for Forgs. Because it's a stupid song. Wait. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, actually, we'll advertise RubyVCR. Yeah, Claire's Duke Nukem's definitely. Alex's videos and Claire's Duke Nukem's. Thank you. Thank you, faithful VCR. You have been always good to me. Oh, the sticker on the front started coming off. Whoops. Cause, Stephen George is still going. We might raid him if he, is still going at the end of this video.
Get your friends.
Cause, Geop isn't live yet. But you're gonna kiss this frog first. Sorry, I was saying, kid, you've never seen it. It's so fucking good. This was actually meant for a motion ride. You know those things you sit in and they move with the video? It was a motion ride video for Pepsi. Don't even go there. It is wild. Hell yeah, it was. Yeah, there's a lot of lore you're missing out on, kid. It's wild. It's fucking wild lore, man. Thank you, Peter Gabriel, for being a goddamn weirdo. I love you so much. All right. Everyone, go see Stephen George. This is the end of my stream. Thank you so much for coming. Get the fuck out of my house. Spread that trains rights and RubyVCR love. I'll see you next time. Go. Go now. Go get him. Get him. Bye.